Hello, and thank you for joining this brief demonstration of TrustInSoft's Trend Reporting. Before I move into the live demonstration, let's talk for a minute about what the functionality includes. TrustInSoft has always included built-in reporting, where you could run a report after a run of the analyzer to understand the undefined behaviors that were detected as part of an analysis run against your code. There's also detailed code coverage metrics and alarm details. What's new now in the 1.47 release is the addition of TrustInSoft Trend Reporting, which allows you to combine the results of multiple discrete analyses into one single report with powerful tools to combine and compare your analysis results without having to export data to third-party analytics tools. Let's take a look now at how this works. Here we have a familiar demo example with a handful of undefined behaviors and a small function called increment array. As an analyst uses TrustInSoft to run analysis against this code, results are generated and stored for reporting and for trend reporting. This is exceptionally useful when it comes time to derive KPIs on a per project basis to understand how and when various issues were both introduced as well as fixed. Trend reporting is done based on comparing a series of snapshots. In order to commit the latest results that we just generated to the current list of snapshots to be considered for trend reporting, we need to merely run tist-stash, and you can see the following message that explains how to manage the queue. I've just gone ahead and committed 2 fixes and run 2 additional analyses using tist-stash after each one. Now I'll show you how to generate the tist trend report based on the results of each of those commits and stashes with a simple tist trend. This generates the report in the background, which is now ready for viewing. The tist trend report is an HTML report, which is entirely self-contained like other TrustInSoft reports. It's entirely portable, but can be viewed in your web browser or exported to PDF. As you can see here in my analyses, there were 3 different analysis runs that I had used tist-stash on, which reflected progress in my project. As I was evaluating the UBs that TrustInSoft had detected, I was applying fixes in my code and steadily weeding them out. And you could see that reflected in the charts here at the bottom, number of alarms compared to the number of analyses. I steadily reduced it from the original 2 down to 1, and then finally had fixed all undefined behaviors and achieved that golden result that proves mathematically that there were no undefined behaviors remaining in my function in that code we saw. And the TIS trend report really tells the story of the evolution of that work. In addition, I have a variety of additional tabs in the report that I can browse through in order to understand the evolution of how our analysis driver may have changed in terms of what was the achieved function coverage. Similarly, the number of statements covered through increasing and improved statement coverage. There is also detailed accounting of the individual alarms, at which point they occurred, how many there were, what was their issue, and then more of a detailed table on those analysis runs themselves, indicating the time that the analysis was run, whether there were any failures of the analysis driver itself, and how many alarms were associated with each of those analysis runs. Now, last but certainly not least is the ability to compare individual analysis runs to one another from this overall data set. When I go into the comparison tab, I'm able to select individual and specific analysis runs. Remember, this report is comprised of 3 distinct runs of the analyzer, and I can select a beginning and an ending analysis run in order to compare them in more detail to better understand what the change was or the deltas were from one run to another. The rest of the report describes the overall project evolution. The comparison tab that you're looking at now is more helpful for understanding deltas from run to run, not necessarily contiguously either. I was able to select the very start and the very end so that we could see overall where did we begin and where did we end without having to look at maybe those trend or those other charts and views. The comparison tooling is very helpful and useful for understanding the evolution of a project, but also for evaluating differences between individual snapshots, which could lend further insights.